Hello, this is Mr. Jones. We're going to talk about order of operations today. If I took the expression 10 plus 5 times 2, some people would say that it would equal 20 because they would multiply the 5 and the 2 first and then add it with 10 to get 20. Others might try to add the 10 and the 5 together, which is 15, and then multiply that by 2 to get 30. Well, which one is correct? Well, you can make an argument for either one. So mathematicians have come up with a way so that everybody comes up with the same answer. And they came up with what was called the order of operations. The order of operations goes like this. First, you must simplify everything inside of grouping symbols. Grouping symbols, most of you are familiar with the parentheses, but you could also have brackets or absolute value bars. And even the numerator and denominator of a fraction are considered groups, and you must simplify the numerator and denominator first of a fraction before dividing. Also, next comes the simplifying any terms with exponents. We're going to talk more about that later on in the semester. And then you would multiply and divide in order from left to right. It is very important that you remember from left to right. A lot of people make the mistake of always multiplying before dividing. You have to go in order from left to right. And then the last step of the order of operations is to add and subtract in order from left to right. Again, make sure that you do it in order from left to right. So for our class today, we're going to be working inside grouping symbols, simplifying, multiplying and dividing in order from left to right, and adding and subtracting in order from left to right. Let's take two problems here, two numerical expressions. They each have the same numbers in them and the same operations. But because of the order of operations, we're going to come up with different answers. So to simplify, 30 divided by 3 plus 2 times 6, I looked to first see, are there any grouping symbols that I need to simplify first? And as you can see, there are no grouping symbols. So the next step in the order of operations would be to look for exponents, which there are none, and then I would start to look for multiplying and dividing from left to right. So as you can see, I start from the left, and I see a division symbol, so I'm going to do 30 divided by 3 first, which is 10. Then I have plus 2 times 6. I still check to see if there's any multiplication or division going from left to right, and I can see that there is a 2 times 6. So now I have 10 plus 12, and now I can do my adding and subtracting going from left to right. So 10 plus 12 is 22. Now if I look at the problem number 2, this time I do have grouping symbols, so I must take care of those first and simplify within those parentheses. So I would do 30 divided by, and 3 plus 2 is 5, and then multiply it by 6. And I don't have any parentheses left or any grouping symbols, so now I'm going to start to go from left to right doing all my multiplication and division. As you can see, 30 divided by 5 comes first, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So that leaves me 6 times 6, and 6 times 6 is 36. So you can see how the order of operations can affect how your answer comes out, simply because of the parentheses, the number changed here. Let's do a couple more problems to make sure that we understand the order of operations. Here I have 1 plus 10 minus 2 over 4. Now remember, a fraction is a division. So I'm going to be doing 10 minus 2 divided by 4. When working this problem, I have to keep in mind that the grouping symbols come first. Remember, even though I don't see any grouping symbols with 10 minus 2, the numerator is a group, and I must simplify that first. So I will do that. 1 plus 10 minus 2 is 8, and that will still be over 4. Now, there are no more grouping symbols left or groups left, so now I'm going to look to add or multiply or divide going from left to right. And I can see that 8 over 4 is the only division I have. So I would do 1 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. There's no more multiplying or dividing, so now I can just add the 1 plus 2 to get 3. So this is simplifying an expression. And remember, the numerator is a group and must be simplified first before dividing. Let's look at another one. Here I have some grouping symbol, the parentheses, inside another set of grouping symbols. But I must follow the order of operations, and I simplify the inside group first. So I'd set that up as 4, keep the brackets, 3 plus, and 2 times 3 is 6. And once I multiply, then I can get rid of the parentheses. Now I have the brackets. So I do 4, and then 3 plus 6 is 9. And then 4 times 9, it's just like parentheses. It stands for multiplication, so 4 times 9 is 36. Let's do one more. Here's our next problem. I have 7 times 12 divided by 3 minus 3. And I have the parentheses here, so I need to simplify within those parentheses first. So I'll have 7. Now, within the parentheses first, I still follow the order of operations. And so I look for any other grouping symbols within this? No. Any exponents? No. So then I look to do all my multiplying and dividing going from left to right. And I do have 12 over 3, or 12 divided by 3, which is 4. And that brings up minus 3. And notice how I still have it in parentheses. So then I would have 7. Still have to finish simplifying within the parentheses. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And now that leaves me 7 times 1, which is 7. Now, one thing to remember about the word simplify. To simplify an expression means to perform the order of operations until there is nothing left to do. I hope this helps. Thanks.